Hello children, now you are watching the 10th video of the chapter Conditional and Iterative Statements. We have covered the first part of iterative statements, that is for loop. Yet we need to do a lot of programs to become an expert in for loop. We have to compare the for with your next loop, that is called while loop. So let's get beginning with what exactly is while loop. So after that we can compare your for loop and while loop, and we can convert what we have done in our for loop to while loop, and then we can do a lot of programs with both this, that is these two loops. While loop has a little bit difference when you compare that with your for loop. Traditionally speaking, in many programming languages, we say, yeah, for loop is much easier. Yes, in terms of readability. Otherwise, both are doing the same thing. In terms of readability means when you write, the number of statements are less in your for loop when we compare the same program with your while loop. So let's start with your first trial of the program. Okay, let's see the simple one. Okay, I have done and kept something here, but it is not complete. Let's say I wanted to print the first 9 numbers starting from 0 to 9. If it was for loop, I will write the same thing which I have written on kept on the top, but in a different manner here, like this way. For count in range 0 to 10, so 0 to 9, isn't it? And then I will write print count, and if I run the program, this is it. See, correct? So how many statements you have? Only 2 statements. You know, count is now called as a control variable, which was there in your notes if I am not wrong, but actually I never called this a count variable, but here it is. Now after deleting this, after deleting the entire, yes, I am going to show the same thing with your while loop. What is the difference? Earlier when we wrote for count in range, this one, we never wrote any initialization, correct? We just started with range and we know what will range do here, correct? But in while loop we cannot have such ranges. So count, which is our counter variable, or which is the variable with which we start our looping or iteration, should be initialized or assigned with 0, because I want to start with 0. If I want to start with the 1 in 4, I will just change here, but in come in here, you have to change it here. Understood? Same way here, the similar methodology is used, but here it will reach from count. If I write count less than or equal to 10, it will reach till 10. Here you know it will never reach 10 because it will be always 1 less than the original value. So that is one difference. So here the first step which we call over here is the variable initialization or variable assignment. That means with which the condition, the variable with which the condition is set in the while loop should be given a value in the beginning or before writing while. So count equal to 1 specifies that I can have any other variables. Okay, no, I mean I can have A here, B here, but like for example, let me just write that also, otherwise some people will get confused. Yeah, fine, let it be there then. But these two are not considered as the counter variable because after coming here, I am using my syntax like this way. While count less than or equal to 10, I am removing the bracket just like that. Okay, let us see. Let us watch. Let me remove this also. Otherwise, when I run, it will be, or I'll just put this in the, I'll just complete this and put it in the, what is it? Yes, comment. Alright, so now comes while. Okay, while I didn't put the bracket, let me just show you the problem. Okay, so while count less than or equal to 10 means as long as the condition of this loop satisfies. So count is first 1 less than or equal to 10. The condition is checked just like if is checked. If count less than or equal to 10, that way the condition is checked, and 1 is definitely less than or equal to 10. So it will print count. If you want, you can print count plus a, just to show you that a can be used here, but a is not a counter variable. It's just like that it is used. Now after this I have to make sure that, like for example, if I run like this, remember what happens. Okay, I have given like this and I'm going to run this. Okay, so first time count is 1, count satisfies the condition, and I have printed count, so 1 will print. Then I have given count plus a, so a is 2, so 1 plus 2, 3 should print. B is not used here. Now let's see. You know what happened, or what is happening now? What you see right now in the screen is an infinite loop. Indefinitely it goes on, because here I have initialized count equal to 1, which is correct. I have used count less than or equal to 10, condition is satisfied. So with or without the bracket, it is going to work. 1 less than or equal to 2, 1 is printed, and 1 is added with 2, 3 also printed. See, it keeps on doing, because the question was saying as long as the condition is satisfied. Here in a for loop, the Python interpreter knows when to stop, because we have given a ending point, and sequentially count will get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here count, or the Python interpreter in while loop cannot do that. That means count will never get the next value after 1, which is of course to be 2. Understood? Even if I give here 12 over here, I have to stop the other one. Which one? Our program which is continuously executed. It will never stop. I have to stop it like this. I have to externally terminate it. Even if I give that 12 or whatever I want, I just want to show you that it may not be always any number which is easy for you to remember. See, count is not going to change from the first value 1 in while loop unless you change it. So you have initialization of the counter variable. You are using that condition variable, or sorry, the counter variable to check the condition. You are printing the block of statements. 2 statements are there, and it is important that in the next line you write count equal to count plus 1 or count plus equal to 1. Now let's do the same program again. Okay, first 1, then the number was added with 5, then 2, then it was added, then 3, then it was added with 5, then 4, it was added with 5, then 5, it was added with 5 again, 6 added with 5, so on. I will remove this. It will be easy for you to understand what's going on, because that was given for you to understand that I can have more than any number of variables. This is a normal way. I can just leave the gap there itself. This was the idea, to print the numbers ranging from 1 to 10. The same thing which we did in our for loop with this statement. Of course, if it was till 10, I should have given here in for this 11, isn't it? Then it will reach till 10, no? Yes. So what is that? In while loop, you have different steps to do the same statement which we did in our for loop with one line. While loop requires beginning and initialization, checking condition, then executable statements. Here right now only one executable statement is there, that is printing. Earlier we had 2, I removed the other one. And then we call this one as the updation statement. The statement which we have given here, which will increment the count as by 1. Only manually by typing to increment the counter by 1 or by 2 or by 3, whichever way you want, it will go to the next iteration. That means iteration of a while loop cannot do or cannot execute by itself. While loop iteration has to be manually proceeded, or the step should be given by the programmer, where in for loop no such step is required. The range function will take over the charge over there, where here we don't have a range function. So the same thing is explained here. And only after this 3 statements are correctly done, initialization, condition checking and updation, while loop will work properly. What's the meaning of correctly done? What if I'm giving this way? I want to print the I want to print the first 10 numbers, and I am giving count equal to 1 correct, count less than or equal to 10. So I am just checking that till it reaches 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 it goes and then it should stop. But I have given the updation statement wrong and I'm trying to run. You understood what happened, no? Count was 1, condition checked 1 less than or equal to 10, print it, and then I had given what we called as count equal to count minus 1. It's keep on decrementing only. See? It will keep on, and you know Python can go to any number you want. So again, another infinite loop. So what is an infinite loop? A loop which will never stop it by itself is called an infinite loop. This loop can be only stopped or only corrected if you give the correct updation or even the checking condition. Now imagine I have corrected. Okay. And instead of giving like this, sorry, I should be correcting it once again. 1 minute. Now another, it's not an infinite loop. Okay, I have given count equal to 0 and count less than or equal to 0. First time it will satisfy the condition. What happened? It satisfied the condition. It became 0. First 0 less than or equal to 0. 0 count printed. Count plus 1. It became 1 and stopped. So this is another problem. It's not an infinite loop. It's a problematic loop, or you can say a loop with logical error. What if I'm giving like this? It will never execute that. Okay, the old one itself. See, for example, I've given like this. And this I'm giving. What happens now? Count is 10. While count less than 10. It will never satisfy this condition. 10 is not less than 10. It will print goodbye because goodbye is not part of it. So even without infinite loop, problems can occur. That means infinite loop can be there. Other kind of logical problematic loop will be there. Only and only if you give the correct statement to start with a smaller value and to end with a higher value, you will go for an incrementation. What if the other way around happens? I want to reverse the number. You change it. Starting from 100 should be greater than, count should be greater than or equal to 1. So 100, after that 99 should come. So here decrementation. Now see, first 100 till 1. Okay, the range will be, if you are giving for count in range, 100 comma 1. Okay, 100 comma 0 actually. If you want to reach till 1, it should be given 100 comma 0. But there decrementation happened automatically. I didn't have to do anything, but here we have to give by ourselves. So we need to write it properly. Now see, it stops. Starting from 100, the next value will be having 99 like that. Each time the count is decremented, and once it reaches 1, it stops. So the counter variable is ready. Let's do another program of the same kind, because we are doing with this a lot of things. Okay. Yes. Something which I wanted to show you. Yes. While count was 0, count less than 5. Okay. I am using else also along with that. So each time I'm just checking till 5 whether it is counting, and I'm printing the count is less than 5 and count equal to count plus 1. Once it is reaching 5, you can say this. So keep on doing that. Of course. 0 is less than 5, 1 is less than 5, 2 is less than 5, 3 is less than 5, 4 is less than 5, 5 is not less than 5. How it happened? It happened like this way. First time count was initialized as 0 and count was checked. 0 less than 5, condition satisfied. It came inside and printed. What is inside count now? 0. 0 is less than 5. Then we incremented count by 1. Now count will become 1. Goes back to this condition. Iteration means you are going and doing checking again and again and again. Remember, iteration means you are going and checking the condition here 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time, 5th time. By the time the condition satisfies, condition is not satisfied, you are out of the loop. As long as the condition is satisfied, you are inside the loop. So second time count is initialized to 1, and again it goes back and checks. So count is less than 5, 2 less than 5, sorry, 1 less than 5, so 1 is less than 5. Next time count will be 2. 2 again is checked with 5, again is satisfied, so 2 is less than 5. Then count becomes 3, 3 is also checked with 5, and then only it will print. So it will say 3 is less than 5. Then it checks with your 4 and it says 4 is also less than 5. Then it becomes 5. 5 less than 5, the condition is not satisfied. So it will never enter the loop. It will stop the execution of the loop. It comes with an else. Even if I am not writing else and putting it outside the loop, it will work. I am just showing you. Else it comes and say print. Same thing will happen. See? So this is how your while loop works. I will show you one more example with your while loop. Then you will stop because this is it. One more example means this is to extract the digits of a number. That means if I am entering, say for example, 3492, I should be extracting 3 separately, then 4 separately, 9 separately, and 2 separately. 3492 should be extracted one by one by one. Digit extraction from the number. Sorry. So in case what if you have to do like this, there is a logic. I don't know whether I have given this question to you earlier. If you divide a number with 10, you will always get the last number of that in 10 that you can divide and see. I mean, I have to correct it. If you divide a number with 10 and the remainder will be always the last number of that digit. And since the last digit you will get, example 456 divided by 10, the remainder will be 6. On complete division, the normal division which you learned in your 3rd standard. 392 divided by 10, the remainder will be 2. The 39, that is 392's first 2 numbers will go at the quotient and the last number will come as the remainder. That technique is used here till that goes on repeating over here. Maybe this is not that clear to you, but it's okay. I can just show you one by one. So first I will take this. According to what is given over there, I have to show you. So I will be typing what I did here and I'm putting that in a, yes, this way. Alright, so first let the number which I entered be, the number which I am entering here be, let that be, for example, yes, 4592, that is number, and 4592 is greater than 0, definitely, no doubt regarding that, it is greater. So now in digit, you should get the value, and as I told you, if you divide that 4592 now, and get the remainder will be 2. So digit will be 2. So you are printing that 2 there. Okay. Then it is given num equal to num by 10. You know by is given. So it will be giving you the whole number only. And you know that number is again divided by 10 only. So quotient has to be written. So you have to calculate and see by yourself manually with your notebook, pen and paper. The quotient will be, that is num will be, when you do this num equal to num by 10, num will be getting 459. So which is your counter, initialization? Counter variable was num. So num equal to int is initialized. While num greater than 0 is your condition. And the last statement num equal to num by 10 is your updation. So you are reducing the number. Now the number is 459. Now the loop iterates again. Loop is checked. Now it is checked whether 459 is greater than 0. It is still satisfying the condition. Now if you divide 459 by 10 and the remainder, you will get it as 9. And you will print 9. The next number is extracted. And then if you write num equal to num by 10, the number is 459. That divided by 2, you will get, by 10 you will get 45. check and see. That you have to try it out, because I cannot show you here in a board like the way we can do. So you can try by yourself and see whether you're getting the same. Otherwise you can question me also, no issues. Again the loop continues, and you will check whether the 45 which you got is greater than 0. Definitely yes, it is greater than 0. And when you divide 45 by 10 percentage 10, you will get the remainder as dg equal to, yes, 5. It will print 5. And then you have the num equal to num divided by this one 10. So 45 divided by 10, you will get the last number as 4. Again 4 is also greater than 0, and you try to divide it by 10. 4 percentage 10 you cannot divide, isn't it? So the third standard topic or the concept, any number if you cannot divide, which is larger than the denominator is very bigger than the numerator, you will take that particular 4 as a remainder itself. So 4 becomes a remainder. So you will print. So dg will be a remainder. You cannot go further. So dg will be remainder. You are printing it, and then if you write 4, that is like you have your 4 divided by 10, what will happen? You cannot go, so you will put a 0 on the quotient, no? Then only you can put a decimal and go on. The first concept which you studied in your third standard is 0 you put, and then you start. So it will be 0. You cannot go further, you don't know decimals, so that is how you stop it. And again it checks. Now the loop stops. And finally when I run this program here, you have been asked to enter 4592. See, I first extracted 2 as I told, then 9, then 5, then 4. And of course at the end I had given loop over, which can be given with or without the else. That completes your first concept in loops. We will see in the next videos. By the time, I hope you'll get an idea about what I have talked here. And as I am telling every time, try it out by yourself. Thank you.